What's good, guys? Fantasy Joe back here with our fantasy football profile. Today, I'm talking Minnesota Vikings star running back Dalvin Cook. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I have a ton of these fantasy profiles up on the channel, over 100 of them coming to you this year. I have redraft content, dynasty content, values, buy lows, sleepers, busts, everything you need to dominate your friends and family in fantasy football is on this channel. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the comment section down below. I respond to all comments. Let's hop into this. So Dalvin Cook, in 2021, he finishes the RB15 overall and averaged 14.6 points per game and a half-point PPR. Compare this to the previous year in 2020 when he finished as the RB3 overall with 22.6 points per game, and 2019 when he finished RB5 with 19 points per game. Dominant run for Dalvin Cook. This last year was a bit of a off year, I guess, but really still a pretty darn good year if you had him on your team from a per game basis. Didn't get the overall finish that you expected. And yeah, he did miss expectations, but really it all just comes down to touchdowns. I think the touchdowns will bounce back for Dalvin Cook. If you look at his stats this last season, 249 carries, 1,159 rushing yards, 6 rushing touchdowns, 34 receptions, 224 yards on the ground. So his receptions went down big time last year. The previous 2 seasons, he had 53 and 44 receptions, down to 34 this year. In those seasons as well, he played 14 games, so only one more game than he played this year. Obviously, there are more games, though, for everyone else to play. Instead, this year he missed 4 as opposed to 2 in the previous years. But Dalvin Cook is an absolute monster. He's a very skilled runner. Even though, they changed coaches, they got Kevin O'Connell now, it's not going to be nearly as run first of an approach. I think that could be good for Dalvin Cook, makes their offense a little bit less predictable. He has that home run hitter ability, and I think he will be utilized more in the passing game this season, more design passes, more checkdowns. I think that will make him, boost up those stats, make him a little bit even more consistent. Maybe he was very consistent in the previous offense just because he would get so much work, though. But I still think Dalvin Cook is going to be a bell cow, even with the running work coming down. I think he is going to get the vast majority of the work. If I was going to draft Dalvin Cook, I still would take Alexander Mass in the later rounds just as that handcuff. He's missed multiple games in each of the every year of his career. So you're going to want that handcuff. But here are his stat predictions. I have Dalvin Cook currently as a top 7 running back for this year. I think I might have him at 5. I have him predicted for 1,500 plus yards from scrimmage, 12 touchdowns, and 35 plus receptions. The reason being on the touchdowns, why I think they're going to come up. Last year, if you look at Dalvin Cook, he was 7th in the NFL in carries inside the 5 with 12, and he only turned that into 2 touchdowns, which is very, very low for carries inside the 5. The previous year, he led the league in carries inside the 5. I think he will just turn those into more touchdowns. He's been a touchdown monster his whole career. If you look at the previous 2 years to this year, 16 touchdowns in 2020, 13 in 2019, and that's just on the ground. So I think he will get back up to that double-digit touchdown number, and that will make him an elite fantasy option along with the boost in receptions. If you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section down below. I respond. As always, this has been Fantasy Joe. Thank you guys so much for watching.